Hello everyone, my name is Outtuber and today I'm showing you guys how to make custom vehicle textures in your GTA 5. So the first thing you guys are going to want to need is something along the lines of a paint.net, Paint 3D, Photoshop, anything that you can edit photos, draw new layers, make new layers, draw things on top. Anything that can do that will be absolutely perfect for this. So there's Krita, there's Blender, there's Paint.net, there's Paint 3D if you really wanted to use that, there's normal paint, there's Photoshop if you have Photoshop. And then what you guys are going to want to do is find a vehicle that comes with a template. I'm going to be using this guy right here, the 2021 Ford F-150 Responder. If you head down here, you should be able to see a template is included. If it doesn't tell you that, you can pretty much download it. You're going to download it, install it here real quick. Open it on up once it is finished installing. And then what we're going to want to do is try find the template. Pretty much right inside of here, it will just tell us template. And right here is our template. Any PNG image with the end of it being sign 1 or sign 2 or however many numbers, it doesn't really matter what number. It could be sign 55 if you really wanted to have 55 different liveries. But whatever PNG image has sign and then a number at the end is going to be your livery. If you double click on it, you should be able to see, once it loads itself up, that this right here is the template of the Ford F-150. It looks pretty self-explanatory. So what you guys are then going to want to do is obviously exactly the same way you'd install a vehicle normally. Bring up your OpenIV, navigate to your Windows, let that start up, let that start on up, and then literally just navigate to where you'd normally install modded vehicles. So mods, update, x64, DLC packs, choose your latest patch day wherever you want to install the vehicle. DLC.rpf, x64, levels, GTA 5 and vehicles.rpf. Grab your download and then slap in your vehicle file. Like so. Obviously making sure in edit mode, which I am not, but I am now. Drag and drop it in. And then if you double click on the guy right here called Texture Dictionary, the FBI.ytd, this is where your textures will be held. And right here, you will see the F-150 sign 2. So that is what the livery, this is what livery I want to replace today. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to drag and drop this onto my desktop, like so. It's going to go onto my desktop and nice and easily. And then you can keep these guys open because we are going to need this at a later date. But now what you guys are going to want to do is simply just bring up your paint.net. And then what you guys are going to want to do is then bring back up your download. You are going to need that template we were talking about earlier. So bring your download back up. And now find your template with the sign at the end and simply just drag and drop whatever template you want. Choose one or two. Not all trucks will have multiple templates. Most of them will just have one. But choose whichever template you want to use and drag and drop it in to your paint.net. But it's not going to let you drag and drop it straight from a download. No clue why. It doesn't want to do it for me. So what you guys are going to want to do first is drag and drop it onto your desktop. Find it on your desktop right here. Mine should just be right about here. This is it right here. Drag and drop it into your paint.net or whatever you are using. I would recommend paint.net. And right here is going to be your guys' vehicle template. What you guys are going to want to do is come down right here to your layers and make a new layer. This is very, very important. Select your rectangle key and highlight the whole of this square. Grab your paint bucket, and this is what's going to be the deciding color of your vehicle. So for me, I'm going to make it black and nice. I love a nice little black Ford F-150, so I'm going to make it black. It's going to cover the whole thing in, but then you're going to be able to see, you can't actually see the background anymore. So what you guys don't want to do is make a new layer so you can add all your livery designs on here. Double click on layer 2 and simply just change the opacity down. You can change it down to 0. If you want a complete thing, you can leave it up so you can see a little bit of the color. And now there are a couple of options what you can do here, obviously making sure you're on your new layer. You can either try and find, if you want to replicate another vehicle, you can either try and find a identical vehicle you can find with a side view. For instance, if I wanted to find a Ford F-150, I wanted to copy a Ford F-150 I found on the internet. Just search Ford F-150, police car, and you want to make sure you're getting a side view of it, just like the template is side. So you just grab like a side view. Maybe not all of the cars will have a side view. If you already have a car in mind, try see if you can find a side view. If not, if you have a car in mind with a very similar livery, for instance, something very, very similar to this, what I'm going to want to do is you're going to want to find a picture of the car side on with the livery. I'm going to grab this guy right here. That should do me about right. See if there's any other images that are a little bit of a better side view. If not, that is all good. I'm going to copy this image right here. What I'm going to do is bring up mypaint.net, and I'm literally going to paste Control-V this in to our newest layer. Make it a little bit bigger so we can see it a little bit easier. It doesn't matter the quality. Obviously, we're not going to use this as our car picture. And then what we're going to want to do is, just like changing layer 2, we're going to literally double click on it and lower down the opacity, just so you can see the livery and the template behind. And then I'm going to slap this on this side of my vehicle. I'm going to literally line it up exactly how I'd want it on this Ford. Doesn't matter what vehicle you're using, all you need really is the livery you want on your vehicles. I'm going to line up this livery like this. I want it just about here on the Ford F-150, and then I'm going to Control-D. I'm going to make another layer. This time you don't have to mess around with the opacity. Then what I'm going to want to do is head down to this tool right here called the line/curve key. You can also use the shortcut O to quickly navigate to this. What you guys are then going to want to do is choose your color. So for me, I want the outline to be black. And then what I want to do is change the brush size. I'd like to go for about a 5. That's about big enough so I can see it. And then what you're going to do is zoom in perfectly to this image. See the police text right here. What you guys are going to want to do then, zoom in as much as you want so you have the best detail. Simply, just as you think about drawing and copying and tracing something, you then can draw lines around this. But obviously then the line's going to be straight. All you guys are going to want to do is literally just use this little circles in the middle, and you can change it to the exact shape that it is in the picture. I'm going to draw it around. So I'm going to do this P here, up by here. Just draw it up here, and then I'm going to go around to about here. That should be good enough. And then I'm going to move it up a little bit. And then obviously you guys can see there's a little bit of a curve on it. So I'm going to add that curve. There we go. And now I'm going to make it a little bit shorter so we can get that curve a little bit better on the end of the P. I'm going to drag towards the corner like this. And I'm going to try and make this corner. Just like that. That should be good enough for the video. Drag down to the next straight line. Yet again, there's another corner we have to do. So we're going to drag towards the end of the corner and just mold this line around the outline of the P. And then we're going to go straight down again. And then across like that. We're going to finish off the O here. We're going to go straight to the middle. Makes life a little bit easier and quicker. We're going to line everything up here with the O. You can move these dots up and down. It makes it a little bit easier to sort them out. I'm going to move this guy right here. Move it up a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to go all the way back down to about here. Try and mold our line in with the 0. With the O again even. Mold it on in. Just like that. This is not the best livery I've ever done in my life, but it is good enough for the video. There we go. And then I'm going to just draw my last line. Obviously, you can go back. My last line just down to the 0. To the I keep calling it 0. Down by here. I'm going to line that up. Just like that. And then you have to make sure that these letters are connecting. So I'm going to draw a little line down here real quick. Not the neatest thing in the world. And then I'm going to just join it up by here. And then I'm going to fill in the middle so it makes an O and a P. Not going to bother curving with this, but you guys get the gist of how you go around it. And make it a little bit curvy on the top. We need to make sure all the lines are connecting. There we go, that's about right, perfect. Spin it around. You can zoom in a little bit better if you can't see exactly where you're dragging. I'm going to make sure that these lines are connecting here. Which I believe they are. I'm going to patch it in just in case they're not. And then just for the last little hole in the P to make it a P. There we go. And there it is. There is our finished product of the livery. Obviously, in reality, we would keep going around. We would be a lot slower. And we would keep going around this until we finish this whole thing. And then what you guys would want to do is literally grab the color you want. So I want white. And I'm literally just going to paint bucket it in. It is as simple as that. And there you go. You have more or less a resemblance of the first P, O, and the little box down by here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the layer with the background behind it. I'm going to literally just press backspace on it, and it should delete it. If it doesn't do that, you can do your other way of deleting it, which is simply just right clicking on it if I can remember how to do it now, or you can click the little X down here called delete layer. It doesn't look like anything wants to work apart from delete layer. And then you should be left, if you zoom out, with this. So that is what it would look like on your vehicle. Obviously you wouldn't have all these hexagons on it because the original layer we painted on, this guy right here, that's going to be the color. So then what we would do is we make sure all the opacity is up on every single layer, and then we go file, we'd save it. We'd save it the exact same thing, but this time we'd save it as a PNG. It's going to replace the PNG we dragged onto our desktop earlier. Click yes, and then click OK, and make sure you flatten it. This is very important as it makes it into one little layer. There you guys go. You can minimize out of whatever you're using, and now bring back up your OpenIV where we last left it off. Find the sign.2, which we named it as, and simply just drag and drop this in to the OpenIV texture editor. It's going to replace this guy right here. Hit OK. It's going to replace that guy that was at the top originally and save it. You close out and save. It should, if you then go to the FBI2 folder, it should now, there you go, be applied to the F-150. I hope you guys did find this video useful. If you did, make sure you comment down below, like the video, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thank you guys very much for watching till the end. Comment down below if this helped you. If it didn't, comment down below how it didn't help you, where it went wrong, and I'll try to help you out in my Discord server, which I will be down in the description below. If you guys haven't already subscribed, do all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.